generation is littered with all kinds of postures of hypocrisy. You are a fiery man on Sunday, fiery man on Tuesday, fiery man on Friday. But the devil knows that this thing you do is only in the evening here. When you leave this place and you enter your normal space, there is another you that manifests. There is a you that does not put up this attitude. Oh, I wish we can carry his presence everywhere. I wish his presence becomes our greatest desire, that we hunger and thirst for that presence. I want to carry him. You know what I speak about? Where you become too conscious of God more than you know your neighbor. Where God is more real than the pillow on your bed. There is something around you. There is a freshness of his presence that begins to brew on your inside. It is at such a time, if you make any mistake, you will lose your peace, because you are in tandem with that peace. If he shakes, you know sin will be far from your borders, because a spirit is quickening a consciousness. Those who are not conscious of God, they don't even get pricked in their heart when they contradict his commandment, because you are not conscious of him. There is a consciousness that sponsors the victory of Joseph. He says, how can I do this great wickedness against God? No man was seeing him, but he was conscious someone was looking at me. How can I do this great wickedness against God? Where did patriarchs like Elijah operate from? He says, before God whom I stand. It was God that was more visible to him than King Ahab. Ahab was in his front, but he says, before you, Ahab, there is somebody I am conscious of. You know what sin is targeting to do? Sin is an attempt by Satan to deplete your consciousness of God. What sin actually does, it does not push God. Sin has no capacity to affect God's posture. Sin pushes man by reducing how conscious he is of the immortal presence of God. And if you are not conscious of God, you will not have the kind of requisite power and conviction to walk away from sin when temptations come knocking on your door, because it takes a level of consciousness. The consciousness is not that God is seeing me. There is also consciousness that he lives inside of me. I carry God. I am his temple. I am God's duplex. I am his special apartment. It is that kind of revelation that fueled the name that Chris Oyakhilome trapped when he pressed. He called the name of that work Christ Embassy. It is where you find Christ. Where men can become envoys, literal carriers of God. That my perfume become Jesus Christ. Spirits can smell it. I can perceive it too. I am conscious. The way you know when you put a perfume, if breeze blow you small, you perceive something. There is an aura, there is an atmosphere, there is a scent that continuously reminds you that you are wearing something. That is how you can be conscious of God. Every step, you know that God just took a step. You sat down in a chair, you know God just stood up from this chair. Everything around you will be littered with the supernatural. You know why? Amen. It is this consciousness, all the installation of cosmos, from the music video to the movies to the adverts of soaps and matches and soft drinks. Everything in cosmos is an attempt to deplete your consciousness of God, so that your mind will be full of many things, yet God is not the center point of your meditation. Let me tell you something about God. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail.
Never find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. I will call upon your name.
You are heading to the great unknown. When it's all said and done, when the games, the rat race is over, at the end of the day, there's only one analysis. Did I do my best to live for God? You will arrive at a realm where everything there is darkness and silence. If you don't have Jesus, you are lost forever and ever and ever. And then all the spirits of rebellion that you read about in Revelation, both those they told you about in Bible school and in Sunday school and in children's church, suddenly you will realize they were not Bible stories. They were ancient truths being given to man. You will find out the spirits that caused all of your disobedience. He will be waiting there to accuse you, to create mockery. Eternity is a concept that continues to amaze me, how little we contemplate on it in the church as of now. And eternity is where all men are heading to. There is nothing more sure in your life than eternity. Eternity, you are heading there. But before we go there, I want my garment to carry certain rankings to show that I fought in the field where they planted me. Too many things have attempted to shift my feet from this mission field. There have been many attempts, including international open doors, to come and be a resident pastor for a particular denomination's church in the US. If you are the one, he will say, who say there's no God? You know where they planted my feet? My feet is on the northern mountains. My horn is supposed to be sounded, because if you go to the west, I will show you some of my brothers littered. Our manifestation is the same time, because we actually arrive time in bunches, and Jesus walked on us, and Jesus gave us our particular mission field. And if the devil wants to cheat you out of dealings, when God opens a door for you, what Satan does is not to close the door, because he has no capacity to close the door that the key of David has opened. So what he does is to open another door and put enough brightness and color around it to look more flashy than the door God opened. The devil was not really intending to open a door for you. He just needs you to miss God's own door. So when you enter, he will close that door, and then this other door, you have missed it, then you did 2-0. You are trusting God for a husband. Finally, somebody is coming around. Satan will bring another person. That's how it works. This person will look more excellent. There will be no physical metrics to use to say this one is of God. What Satan's temptation is in the moment of visitation is to create an alternative option for you, so that as you enter that one, after 3 weeks the relationship will fail, but you have missed your husband. Jesus says, stand in the north and blow a horn. Raise an army for me. Oh, and they say, you know, from the US, you can stream your meetings. The impact of your teachings will be more felt worldwide. If you go there, maybe after 2 months, you guys will see me with a headband. The revival is here. It's already here. Those who have ears, you can hear the rumble already. There is a spirit crying for expression. The one missing link now are the vessels. Oh, for a couple of weeks now, my labor has been one. I have been repairing the altar of the Lord. I've been repairing the stone. I've been searching my heart. Lord, is there any way, anything around me, known or unknown? Are there little areas that I am unconscious of that needs to be repaired? Because before holy fire comes, I will share with you why the Levitical rule concerning the fire on the altar of burnt offering, why God insisted that let this fire never go out. You know why? No man lighted that fire. It was God that lighted it. So God said, keep this fire. Let it burn perpetually. Let it never go out upon the altar of burnt offering. That is the command concerning that particular altar in the temple of God, that let this fire